So many companies today are increasingly looking to innovation to drive sustainable growth and help establish significant competitive advantage. However, as many of you know, executing on that ambition is no easy feat. Perhaps you've started to define, put in place, or you even already have defined processes that support your innovation and new product development. But are they the right processes? Are your practices as efficient as they could be? Are they helping you make sure you're devoting time and energy to the right products and processes? And do your processes support swift and informed decision-making and give you that visibility that you really need to keep your innovation initiatives aligned with corporate strategy? Today's webinar, How to Establish Innovation as Your Competitive Advantage, is intended to help you reflect on some of these questions and take a closer look at innovation processes within your own organization. Throughout today's discussion, our innovation consultant, Alan Keuneke, will help establish the scope of innovation, and he'll also help you identify some of the symptoms that may indicate innovation challenges exist within your own organization, if you aren't already glaringly aware of them. The goal isn't to solve those innovation challenges within this 1 hour, but rather to start looking at how you can take the first step towards identifying the primary areas of concern and planning your innovation maturity journey. Everybody approaches innovation differently, and no two journeys are the same, depending on where you start and the scope of your ambition. You'll hear some real stories from Alan's experience working with companies globally to define and refine innovation and new product development practices. Our speaker today, Alan Keuneke, is an innovation consultant, and he's one of our deployment team leaders here at Sophion. He has over 15 years of successfully providing product development and management solutions to both Fortune 500 and small companies across a variety of industries. During today's presentation, you'll get just a glimpse into some of the work that Alan does globally with organizations to help improve their innovation performance through the deployment of solutions and best practices that are tailored to their specific innovation journey. And with that, I'll get the session started and hand it over to Alan.
Thank you, Tina. I appreciate everyone's time today. I'd like to get straight into this because I want to maximize the amount of time we have for the interactive discussion following the presentation portion. My thought process and what I want to lead everyone through today are these 4 items. We're going to define the scope. We want to look at symptoms so we can diagnose where your innovation challenges are most concerning, then identify what those primary areas of concerns are, and then look at a possibility of how we can plan the journey. So if defining the scope of innovation, many people define the scope of innovation as only ideation. For the purposes of this discussion, as well as future discussions, we would define the scope of innovation starting with planning through ideation, through our process management and execution, including portfolio optimization. Our goal is the enterprise innovation performance, impacting that in a positive way, and without all 4 areas included in our scope of innovation, we lose the ability to actually affect the innovation performance dramatically. So let's look at some challenges. This is a slide I've used in a previous webinar as well, where we have gaps in alignment, our decision making, and too few high-value projects. 94% of the executives that are surveyed in this study say they have a gap in alignment between their strategy and what's happening in the real world, in their R&D departments. From a decision-making perspective, many of the decisions that are made, the vast majority, are based on politics rather than good, solid data with integrity. Regarding the value of the project, there are too few high-value projects and the organization works on many lower value projects, and that causes the scarce resources to be stretched too thin. So let's take a look now at some symptoms. Let's say how do we know whether we're unaware of or we have a lack of strategic alignment? One symptom to look for is project priorities are identified as pet projects, or the opinion of a few individuals identifies what those priorities are. It should be communicated effectively and understood by the organization how priorities are created in order to ensure we have strategic alignment. Additionally, we may only do project justifications based on finance assumptions and maybe some market assumptions as well. I see this a lot. Let's look at another aspect, making decisions lacking data with integrity. What does that mean? It means that we don't trust our data. How do we see that? We'll see that in, again, in politics being a significant factor in the majority of decisions. We also can identify whether we have data with integrity based on how easily we can identify if the assumptions have changed in a project. Let's consider inconsistent business processes. This is an area where you could be seeing issues if you do not have an established and understood cadence for gate meetings, for innovation portfolio meetings. If those gate meetings are more oriented towards a status meeting for the gatekeepers or stakeholders, that's also a symptom that we have an issue with our business processes. An additional item that may indicate a problem with business processes is that we may have a decision made to authorize a project once, and that decision is considered final.